doing offshore sailing. I was sailing from Camden, Maine to Key West, Florida, rounding a place called Cape Hatteras, which is known to be rough waters. And I got woken up by getting tossed out of my bunk, and I decided to go check on the crew who was sailing the boat. And I came out on deck and I saw the sea state, probably 9-foot waves and 30 knots of wind. And
everyone has a story, moments that shaped them, struggles that tested them, triumphs that define them. But most of these stories stay hidden, shadows in the background of everyday life. Until now. Welcome to True Incredible Stories. These aren't just stories. They're lived experiences brought into light. Subscribe, like, and share, because these voices deserve to be heard, and you won't want to miss a single one.
yes, hello, my name is Zachary Tan.
And can you tell me a little bit now, what boat is this behind you?
This right here is the historic schooner, the When and If. She was built in 1939 in Wiscasset, Maine. She was custom designed and built for General George Patton and designed by John Alden.
Wow.
She's a beautiful wooden schooner, and yeah.
So where have you sailed with this ship?
With this ship, we sailed here from Key West, Florida, and right now we're in Port Washington, Wisconsin. So this boat every year sails the entire East Coast, from Florida to New England, but now we're in the Great Lakes and we'll take her anywhere. The idea is actually to take her around the world, hopefully around 2032. That's actually what she was designed for. Even the name tells the story. General George Patton wrote home to his wife and family that when this next war is over and if I survive, me and my wife Beatrice are going to sail around the world. And that is how the boat got its name. It's always been named that. And yeah, so the boat and me and the crew all want to go around the world.
So has it always been smooth sailing? And
No. Absolutely not. But we pride ourselves in learning and doing the best we can at maintaining the vessel and making sure the crew are well trained and understand potential hazards. And I think that among all boats I've been on, this is some of the best sailors I've ever been with. So we'll take this boat wherever we must. But always safety first. We choose good weather windows. We do common rig inspections and checks. We're actually in the middle of one right now. Yeah.
So can you tell me about a time where it was a little bit scary? Maybe.
Actually, yeah. So there's a funny story. There's a boat right over here across the harbor called Captain 4. Now the captain of that is involved in the story that I'm going to tell. I was sailing south from Maine. It was my first time doing offshore sailing. I was sailing from Camden, Maine to Key West, Florida, rounding a place called Cape Hatteras, which is known to be rough waters. And I got woken up by getting tossed out of my bunk, and I decided to go check on the crew who was sailing the boat. And I was very glad. Well, I came out on deck and I saw the sea state, probably 9-foot waves and 30 knots of wind. And I knew immediately that I needed to be helpful and aware, so I ran back to the cockpit. And I was feeling these waves for the first time in my life, and I got in fight or flight mode and was ready, and I turned, and the captain there, a friend of mine, he had a big smile on his face when I was shaking, and his smile changed my attitude for that day. When I knew I was with someone who had been in such a sea state, I realized that I could also rise to the occasion and learn from him. So he taught me a lot that day, and then as you get a little older or more experienced, you learn that bad weather is relative. There's always worse seas that you might face, and hopefully you've seen a good share, so you know what to do when a situation might get rough. But always shoot for good weather.
Oh, yeah. So how long have you been sailing?
My sailing story started about 8 years ago, I believe, on the Great Lakes, on Lake Erie. For 2 years, I raced small sailboats, and I had a friend at the time who was a decent sailor, and he would offer his boat to me. He would say, take your family out, take a date. And I'd say, no way I'm doing that. We'll flip the boat, we'll die. And that kind of inspired me to go get more involved in sailing. Once a week wasn't enough, so I drove up to Camden, Maine, which is an amazing place for wooden boats, for tall ships, for sailors. And that was 6 years ago, and I've been on the sea every day since, living on board for 365 days a year.
Really? You live on the boat?
I live on this boat right now since last March. That's about 1.5 years. Yeah.
That must be challenging in itself to live on a boat.
I find it beautiful and I love it. The biggest challenge would be that it might be a challenge for some people, but you're usually a little more aware of your surroundings and your environment. So sometimes you're running at a little bit higher of a frequency, you're listening to your sounds, and you want to be very aware of everything that's going on. So it keeps you a little more alert, and that will wear you down if you don't find peace and when you have a calm day.
Was there ever a day you were sailing and you wondered if it was going to be your last?
No. Not due to death, at least. There have been days where I was very tired, but I am absolutely in love with it. I've surrounded myself with great sailors. I have felt comfortable and confident in the tall ship community and among my folk, my people. Yeah.
So where are you going next?
Next, we're going just a little north to Sturgeon Bay.
Okay.
But we're slowly making our way back to New England. But we have a couple stops. We'll be in Sturgeon Bay, and then we're heading to Erie, Pennsylvania, and Rochester, New York, with hopeful stop in Cleveland along the way. That's my home, and I'd love to sail home for the first time.
What was the most interesting place that you've ever sailed?
I believe that Maine is like the holy land for sailing. Conditions and beauty are unparalleled. But up in Quebec, in an area called Gaspé and around there, is exotically beautiful. The north is an amazing place for sailors. I saw beautiful wildlife like belugas. I have sailed in the Mediterranean along the coast of Italy, which was beautiful. Every place has its charm and things to teach you. So it's hard to say.
So,
I'm happy to be here now.
So what would you say to someone who might be thinking about living the type of life you're doing?
Yeah, what would I say? That's a good question. Well, I would say don't be afraid to just step out that door and go try it. It was a gradual process that felt very natural for me. It was a very welcoming community. All I had to do was go to that first yacht club, technically. It's a sailing club, and ask people on the dock, does anyone need help? And before I knew it, I had 10 people wanting to teach me along the way, and 6 years later, I get to sail beautiful wooden ships around the world.
So how much longer do you plan on doing this? Is this?
Well, I haven't made my plans yet.
So this is your life forever, as far as you can.
This is a part of my life forever. Yes. Yeah. I love sailing.
Do you have family that it's hard to get in touch with, or? Yes,
I just started something new to help with that. There's a lot of homesickness and missing of people. A part of sailing, a part of its nature is arriving to places and falling in love with either the place or the people and then leaving. And it does get difficult. But when you build this global network and family, you do find home in many places. I have started a group message that I'm proud of. It even has a title called Letters Home, where I only add the people who are interested in me, updating them on where I am, how I'm feeling, and what I'm seeing. And it's been working very well to keep in touch.
way to connect, or do you have to wait till you're on land?
Starlink is available these days, and it's great if you want that. Part of the beauty of sailing is shutting that off.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share that you didn't talk about?
Well, I could talk for days, but just maybe a little promo. When and If is a great vessel, and we do chartering all along the East Coast and further. You can easily find us on the internet, When and If. And also, honestly, come out sailing and just see how it feels. It's an amazing practice. It feels like freedom. It's a breath of fresh air. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. It was very, very interesting.